Yeah.
Sanjay sir, you are planning to visit Bharat Mandapam in the evening?
Okay, we are live.
Okay.
Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the special session on the launch of the second edition of the School Innovation Marathon, an initiative by the Department of School Education and Literacy, Ministry of Education, in collaboration with Atal Innovation Mission Niti Aayog, School Innovation Council, and Ministry of Education's Innovation Cell AICTE, as well as UNICEF, who have come together to launch this second edition of the School Innovation Marathon. We have with us several dignitaries from the Ministry of Education. We have with us Shri Sanjay Kumar, Secretary, Department of School Education and Literacy, Ministry of Education, joined by Ms. Archana Avasthi, Joint Secretary, as well as Mr. Panda, Director, School Education. We're also joined by Dr. Deepak Bagla, Mission Director, Atal Innovation Mission, Dr. Abhay Jere, Vice Chairman, AICTE, and Chief Innovation Officer, Ministry of Education. We're joined by Ms. Georgia Varisco, Chief of Yuva, UNICEF. So with that, all our dignitaries, I very warmly welcome you. And I also welcome all the state participants. We are also joined by secretaries from state education departments, as well as several officials. A very warm welcome to all of you to this session today. On the YouTube Live, we have students, teachers, mentors, principals who have joined us for this session. So I warmly welcome everyone to this session today. We're very excited as this will be the launch of the second edition of the School Innovation Marathon. School Innovation Marathon was started last year as the first of its kind hackathon, nationwide hackathon, where all school students, both ATL as well as non-ATL school students, could participate in this hackathon, innovate on community problems on the theme being provided, and come up with innovative prototypes and solutions to those problems. I'm pleased to share that with last year's marathon, which was launched on NEP Day on 29 July 2024, this year too, we're launching it on the eve of NEP anniversary, 5th anniversary. And we had a tremendous turnaround last year, with which we are encouraged with a much bigger hope that we will have much bigger numbers this year as well. Last year, we had more than 1 lakh entries to the School Innovation Marathon, and we had more than 6 lakh students who participated in this from more than 54,000 schools. So there was a good participation. I would say a big thank you to all the states for coming together and the Ministry of Education for driving it in such a strong way that we had a strong participation. That sets the context of this year's School Innovation Marathon. The theme for this year is Young Minds for Amrit Kal. And as our Honorable Prime Minister's vision for Viksit Bharat by 2047, this period denotes a lot of opportunity, growth, and a global leadership for India. And this can be better audience to do this than our students who are our young innovators, who will be the torchbearers and who will lead this Viksit Bharat movement for us. So that's why the theme for students to innovate on these theme areas, which will be shared shortly in more detail. Now, without further ado, let me call upon Dr. Deepak Bagla, Mission Director, Atal Innovation Mission, to address everyone.
Thank you, Deepali. Good evening, and good evening to everyone, especially our young innovators across the schools in India and our partners. And I must compliment each and every one of you. This is just the second edition of the Innovation Challenge, which we are launching tomorrow. And very interestingly, it has already become India's biggest innovation challenge for school students. I think that very firmly represents the innovative interests, the innovations, and the young entrepreneurs which we have across the country with their zeal to try and solve the problems which will create a Viksit Bharat and an India of tomorrow. My very warm welcome to Shri Sanjay Kumar, the Secretary, Department of School Education, who's played a very critical role in leading all of us into this effort, and also Giorgio Varisco, the Chief of Yuva UNICEF, Dr. Abhay Jere, the Vice Chairman AICTE and Chief Innovation Officer, Ministry of Education, who's been playing a very critical role in taking this all forward. And together, I think we're going to see, if I may say so, probably and hopefully, yet another world record on the participation of this one. As Dipali already mentioned, this one is again inspired by the Honorable Prime Minister's vision of a Viksit Bharat. We have the Panch Pran, which he had broached for all of us. And this year, the subjects which are taking across the challenge would be women and children, tribal empowerment, water, cultural pride, lifestyle and environment, health and wellness, inclusive development, and Atmanirbhar Bharat and unity. I think these are very critical aspects which span across the entire foundations on which we will see a new India emerging in the form of Viksit Bharat. So may I welcome you all once again, congratulate you on all being with us, and wish you the very best as we lead into the second edition of this Innovation Challenge. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir. And with that, now I request Dr. Abhay Jere, Vice Chairperson, AICT and Chief Innovation Officer, Ministry of Education, to address everyone.
Honorable Secretary, Sri Sanjay Kumar ji, and entire staff at DOSL, our partners, Atal Innovation Mission, Deepak Bagla ji, then Madam Georgia from UNICEF, and our other partners, along with the schools and colleges which have joined us for this initiative. First, I would really like to thank DOSL for actually organizing this initiative jointly between AIMS and Ministry of Education's Innovation Cell, AICT, because through Ministry of Education's Innovation Cell, we are not only interacting with schools, but we are also getting higher educational institutions to interact with schools. It is an initiative which completely aligns with our NEP. As it was said earlier, that last year, which was the first edition, we received 1 lakh plus ideas. It has certainly become world's biggest innovation marathon. But what we believe this year, that we will certainly exceed the number, last year's number, but more importantly for us, we would like to see better quality. Last year, we started with 1 lakh ideas, but eventually we could only fund around 30 plus projects because we, as a part of School Innovation Council, under Ministry of Education, under guidance of our Sanjay sir, we have funding to fund up to 1.5 lakh rupees per idea. And last year, we could fund only 31 ideas. This year, we have a target of funding more than 250 ideas. So I will take this opportunity to request our schools to actively look at the ideas which are getting submitted, to work on them along with students, to nurture them to some extent before they get actually submitted. Apart from that, DOSL wants to create a culture of patent filing within our schools. And from that perspective, we have extended the program Kapila, which was initially only confined to higher educational institutions, even to schools. We want to file more than 100 patents from school this year. Our secretary, captain of our team, has given us a humongous target in this regard. And we want to ensure that we complete and fulfill this target. For school innovations, when it comes to IP filing, we will be actually supporting the student with good IP.
When Dr. S. Shankar is
with more than 34,000 rupees, you know. So the entire IP filing fee, government fees, will be taken care and reimbursed to school students through Innovation Cell. So we want to have more than 100 IP files from our schools this year, so that we should create, which will help us to create the culture of IP creation, IP filing, IP, what we can say, celebration in our schools. Usually when we talk to schools, and if we ask them, what is your success? How you measure your success? Most of the time we get answers like our 90% student got more than 90% marks. It doesn't go beyond that. Nobody talks. None of the schools have heard talking that we have published such a such paper, or we have filed an IP, we have won such so many hackathons or Olympiads. That becomes secondary. But we want to push that culture as a primary culture. We have to get away from rote learning culture. We have to get away from that marks and grade chasing culture. And from that perspective, this School Innovation Marathon is going to be one of the really critical initiatives. This will help in inculcating the problem-solving culture within our youngsters. This will help students to get into design thinking, because already we have released the books for design thinking from 6th standard to 12th standard, and these books are on website of CBSE. So I believe that students will use this material to think about the challenge, to think 360 about the solution, and then submit this challenge, so that we will not only cross 1 lakh mark, which we should certainly, but more importantly, we should get quality ideas. And this year, we want to actually push the bar of quality notch above, so that we should able to showcase these ideas across the country, that our school students are coming up with such great ideas which will motivate others to follow this path. So from this perspective, I believe the School Innovation Marathon is a very, very important initiative. And I would like to request all the school students and teachers to aggressively participate in this initiative. Thank you very much. Really appreciate it.
Thank you, sir. And definitely, we look forward to more higher quality ideas, and also we hope that all 250 ideas get funding this year. That's a big motivation for students to be able to take their ideas to the next level, to the prototype and commercialization stage. With that, now I invite Ms. Georgia Varisco, Chief of Yuva UNICEF, to come and address everyone.
Good evening. It's truly a pleasure to join the celebration, and I would like to start by sincerely thanking Mr. Shri Sanjay Kumar, Secretary of the Ministry of Education, Dr. Deepak Bagla, the Managing Director of Atal Innovation Mission, Niti Aayog, and Dr. Abhay Jere, Vice Chairman of AICTE and Chief Innovation Officer. I'd like to thank you all for your leadership and vision, and for bringing all of us together to celebrate the second launch of the School Innovation Marathon. I would also like to recognize the incredible contribution of the team at the Ministry of Education, of the Atal Innovation Mission, of ICTE, and many of the implementation teams and educators of the country, across the country, who have brought this initiative to life. And of course, all the students, the young minds, and the young innovators. This celebration reflects what is possible when national leadership, strong institutional partnerships, and when they all come together and bring together with the energy of our young people together around a shared purpose. The School Innovation Marathon began as a very small initiative, and today it has grown into one of India's most impactful school-based innovation movements. This remarkable journey has been made possible through collaboration and shared commitment to nurturing young minds. Together, we have not just built a program, we have cultivated an innovation ecosystem that brings the spirit of the national education policy into the classroom. Design thinking, critical thinking, and experiential learning are no longer abstract concepts. They are becoming part of how students learn, lead, and create real change. What makes the School Innovation Marathon so special, I think, it's also its foundation in equity. Students from aspirational district, rural areas, and government school are not just participating, they're excelling, becoming role models, and inspiring the peers across the country. One of the key enablers has been the Upshift framework from the UNICEF Office of Innovation, which brings structured and inclusive approach to design thinking and problem solving. And it also helps students build confidence, develop practical community-based solutions, and take meaningful actions. This year edition, it's focused on building the model even further. For example, it is identifying and training 5 teachers innovators in every district to become local champions of innovation and guide young minds in their district. It is supporting students through focused ideation boot camps, giving them the tools to move from ideas to action. And we're also enhancing the digital system to ensure seamless access, real-time mentorship, and learning analytics so that every student has the support they need to thrive. I also want to thank the UNICEF education teams working tirelessly across states, and you have been a consistent driving force in this program as well, helping us really build this innovation ecosystem and by driving scale and sustainability of this work. As we look to the month ahead, we have a collective opportunity to deepen the innovation ecosystem around schools so that every student not only develops ideas to solve hyperlocal challenges, but is also empowered to bring those ideas to life. The School Innovation Marathon, I think we heard it also from the other speakers, is not just a program, it's really a movement that trusts young people, nurtures their potential, and reimagines what inclusive future-ready education can be. It is also a scalable model for advancing the national education policy, driving 21st century skills, and building India's next generation of problem solver, entrepreneurs, and civic leaders. By continuing to strengthen this ecosystem with trained teachers, innovators, hands-on student mentorship, and digital-enabled platform, we can ensure that innovation and social entrepreneurship become truly accessible to every child in the district. This is how we make inclusive future-ready education a reality. This is how we turn potential into progress. And I really wanted to thank you all for attending this launch today, and I look forward to working together to take this movement even further. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Georgia. And indeed, it is this partnership that has really made it a huge success, and each of the partners jointly have done a fabulous job in terms of taking this to the last mile. I now request our student innovator, Ms. Saji Bansal, to share her experience. Students being the heart of this whole movement, and with them being at the core, we've been able to build a very strong marathon initiative. And now we'd like to hear from Ms. Sachi, who's been an ATL student and an innovator for several years. How has her journey been to inspire other students?
Good evening, everyone. I am Sanji Bansal, a student of Delhi and a proud member of the growing student community of change makers that the Atal Innovation Mission has nurtured over the years. My journey began with Transgress, a project aimed at generating employment for the transgender community. It was selected in the School Innovation Marathon, marking my first milestone in structured innovation and opening doors to national mentorship and exposure. After getting into the top teams, I embarked on the journey of Student Innovator Program, the SIP, where I gained insights into user centric thinking, and with further support from the Student Entrepreneurship Program, the SEP, I worked on transforming the initial concept into a sustainable solution. Over time, this effort evolved into your own universe, that is now a comprehensive digital platform supporting the LGBTQ plus community. This entire transformation from transgress to you would not have been possible without the vision and guidance that platforms like Marathon instill in me. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Sachi, and we hope that your experience and your innovations inspire many more student innovators, especially girl innovators, to share their innovative prototypes in this year's marathon. Thank you. Now we come to the moment we all have been waiting for, the launch, the formal launch of the School Innovation Marathon. With the permission of all dignitaries, Shri Sanjay Kumar, Secretary School Education, Dr. Deepak Bagla, Dr. Abhay Jere, and Ms. Georgia, I now formally request for the launch of the School Innovation Marathon through a video that we will play.
The Department of School Education and Literacy, Ministry of Education, Atal Innovation Mission, Niti Aayog, the Ministry of Education's Innovation Cell, and UNICEF presents School Innovation Marathon 2025. Be a part of India's largest school innovation challenge, where students across India ideate to develop innovative solution in the form of a working prototype to solve community problems of their choice. Last year, 6.7 lakh students from over 54,000 schools submitted over 1 lakh projects. This year, it's getting bigger with the theme of Young Minds for Amritkal. During this enriching journey, students will get the opportunity to upskill themselves with the capacity building, ideation, and design thinking workshop to come up with innovative solutions. Top performing team will receive funding supports from the Ministry of Education and internship opportunity through the Student Innovator program with leading corporations and incubation centers across India. Teams can submit their project till 30th November 2025. Participate now and be a part of Amritkal.
With that, I now request our chief guest, Shri Sanjay Kumar, Secretary, Department of School Education, Ministry of Education, to address everyone.
Thank you, Dipali. My colleague, Dr. Deepak Bagla, MD, Atal Innovation Mission, our Joint Secretary, Srimati Archana Sharma Avasthi ji, Dr. Abhay Jere, Vice Chairman, AICTE and Chief Innovation Officer, Ministry of Education, Ms. Georgia Varisco, Chief of Yuva, UNICEF, Dipali Upadhyay, Program Lead, all our young colleagues who have joined from different parts of the country. Sanjay Bansal, you spoke so well. I mean, at the outset, I must say that any time I am with young children or youth of today, I am also always reminded of my heydays. And I always find that children today are so confident, so articulate, and so focused. And I remember that when I was your age, I used to be a shy and a diffident boy. So look at the kind of a transition we have made since then. And I really feel very happy to see young youth, young children do things with great excitement and with such creativity. And I guess that is the aim of the function or the event of which we are a part. You know, I'm also very happy to note that this is on the eve of 29th of July. Tomorrow happens to be the 5th anniversary of the National Education Policy. And on the penultimate day, we are launching this School Innovation Marathon 2025. The National Education Policy, in a manner of speaking, it is the DNA of the Indian society. Everything is encapsulated there. And what eventually would emerge to a very large extent depends on the way we are going to educate our children who are in our schools, who are in our colleges, but primarily in these schools. I think this is where the foundation of lifelong learning is laid. The National Education Policy completely rewrites the pedagogical structure. It is 5 plus 3 plus 3 plus 4. So we do foundational, we learn in our mother tongue. While we learn, we also believe in multilingualism, and we are giving encouragement to critical thinking, experiential learning by bringing in some kind of a innovative change in the assessment pattern of our schools. You know, I have a I recall that the Honorable Prime Minister had said that there comes a time in the development journey of every country when it pushes forward with new resolutions. Today, that time has arrived in the development journey of India. Journey of the next 25-year marks the Amritkal. And quite aptly, the theme of this year's School Innovation Marathon is Young Minds for Amritkal. Innovation is something which is the bedrock of any growing society. You know, if you actually have to look at a society and find out whether or not that society is doing good or not, then you ask yourself a few questions. Number one is our children learning well? Are they learning well in the school? Are they really enjoying being in the school? The number two is, are we innovating? And if we are innovating, then are we creating new technology? And if we are doing this, I think we are on the right path. And I guess the basic theme and the aim of today's function is to make everyone set on the journey of thinking, innovating, and maybe creating new technologies. I'm not too worried about the participation in terms of quantity. Last year, more than 1 lakh participation had taken place. Dr. Jere was saying that this year we are expecting more, but I guess the quantity versus quality always must be kept in mind. And we need good quality, innovative products to come out of this hackathon, this marathon. But the basic thing is to be able to raise the bar of innovation. And every year we must take it forward. There are few things I would want to mention. The Niti Aayog, in its first version of Atal Tinkering Labs, ATLs, set up 10,000 ATLs all across the country. It brought in a thinking, it brought in a culture of innovation in our school. And I'm very happy to say that this year, when the budget was presented, the Honorable Finance Minister announced that 50,000 ATLs will be set up in all the secondary and higher secondary schools, the government ones in the country. We are really excited about this ATL 2.0, and we think that this is the right way to do things. The second thing which is being done by AICTE is that they are setting up School Innovation Council in our schools. Train the teachers, bring in the students, make them think in a new manner. And this year, when we were doing the PAB for all our PM Shri schools, we have incorporated it in a big way in all our PM Shri schools. So, Abhay Ji, I really expect that this is going to kick off and it is actually going to yield dividend for all of us. You know, to all the students who are be participating in this innovation challenge, I would say that this is your opportunity to tinker beyond boundaries. And the problem statements of the year are based on the idea of young minds for Amritkal. You will be choosing problem statements focusing on health, wellness, women and child development, water, lifestyle for environment, cultural pride, tribal employment, future ready skills, and local community problems. Ultimately, we as a society have to look at things which affect us, how we can find innovative solutions for the things which affect and can actually accelerate our progress. Local thought process must be encouraged, local problems must be encouraged, and as we start doing local things, we might find a solution which may actually go beyond the local. So my best wishes to all the people who are participating here. I would call upon all the teachers who are part of this exercise and who are assisting the students to come forward, because innovation must begin from the classroom pedagogy. It must begin from the teacher. The teacher must believe in innovative ideas, new way of teaching things, making children think out of the box, find innovative solutions to the problems we have. I would want to end with something before I congratulate everyone. I do look forward to a great participation, but more than that, I would say that enjoy yourself. Enjoy yourself, make lots of friends, and also create a network of innovation all across. Because ultimately, we need to work with each other. We need to work in a collaborative manner. And once we start doing it, keep sharing ideas on a regular basis, we will be able to find solution to our problems. You know, some time back, somebody came and gifted me a book, and it was done by a team of people who had done research in school education. And while I was flipping through the book, I came across a quotation there. It said, this quotation is from a school leader, and I'm just going to read that for you because I thought it is extremely apt. It says that school education is not rocket science. However, rocket science comes from education. So I think this is a beautiful line, and I think let rocket science come from the kind of effort which we are making, and definitely we'll reach to the moons and the stars. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you, Abhay Jere ji, for making this possible. I once again welcome the MD of AIM, Dr. Deepak Bagla. I look forward to a very, very active and exciting partnership with you. To Georgia, I would say that if we can think of ways by which we can link up this innovation, and if you could link up with your passport for earning, which is part of your effort for youth amongst the Indian youth, if you can link up with the P4E, I think it might give opportunity to our students to take their products further. Once again, my best wishes to all our participants. I look forward to this continuing excitement and would be very happy to share with the outcome which will come from this very, very, very fine endeavor. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen.
Thank you so much, sir, for those very inspiring words. And definitely, we look forward to raising the bar of innovation this year, like you very rightly said it and put it. Also, enjoying the innovation process. I will re-emphasize what you said, sir, and to all the students, the journey of being an innovator is an exciting one, and it's important to enjoy that. The innovation itself is a byproduct of it, I would say it that way. With that, I thank all the dignitaries who have joined us today for this session. I thank all the students, mentors, teachers, parents who have joined on the YouTube Live, all the state department officials who will be with us today for this session. I encourage everyone to participate in the School Innovation Marathon, all schools to participate in the marathon. To participate, you would have to go to schoolinnovationmarathon.org. There is a website for this on which you can register, and you will start receiving capacity building and other information about the marathon. And yes, get started, happy tinkering, and we hope to receive your innovations. Thank you, everyone. Thank you for joining this session.